Hi everyone, I'm Lucas with another newscast for DHS. One of the drama team members will be heading to state competition next month. The drama team took part in districts up at St. Genevieve last week, and Alexis Irwin qualified for state by taking second in prose reading category. Gage Bailey also received special recognition by being chosen for the cast of the All-Star One-Act play. Alexis will travel to Missouri State University on April 21st for the state competition. The Career Center and Ripley County Chamber of Commerce hosted a job fair on Wednesday, so that students could see what jobs local businesses were offering. Students got to fill out applications for places like the City of Doniphan, Town & Country, and Walnut Street Residential Care. In all, about 200 students took part. If starting your own business is something that you've thought about after high school, then you want to attend the workshop at the Career Center on Wednesday. Local business leaders will be on hand to show you how to handle things like business loans, insurance, marketing, and much more. It will start at 9 a.m. in the Career Center auditorium if you are interested. See the counselors or Ms. Fish at the Career Center. Moving on to our weekly tips for the ACT test coming up in a few weeks, and this time we're looking at one of the more complicated sections of the test, which is the science section. Here's Maddie with more.
The science section can be the most intimidating section of the test, because this section will hit you with a lot of terminology and facts you probably will be unfamiliar with. The ACT science is essentially about logical reasoning, not a knowledge of scientific facts. Don't get overwhelmed by a bunch of numbers and words you don't understand. The best thing to do when faced with all this information is to ignore it and go straight for the graphs, which will provide enough information for you to answer the majority of the questions you're faced with. Most of the information you're given is just extra stuff thrown in there to make the section seem more difficult than it is. The conflicting viewpoints section on ACT science is usually the most time-consuming for students. In case you're not familiar with it, this part of the section asks you to read 2 or 3 passages that detail different viewpoints on a scientific issue. You'll then answer questions about these viewpoints and how they relate to one another. Since this is the most reading intensive and can eat up a lot of time, it's best to save it for last so that you don't end up missing other questions later on.
Thanks, Maddie. As everyone knows, prom is tomorrow here at the high school. But just one last reminder that if you're planning on taking part in Grand March, you need to be lined up by 5:45 outside the gym. Here's Jordan with more news and announcements.
Thanks, Lucas. Seniors, there's a fairly long list of scholarship deadlines coming up. Here's the list of scholarships and the dates that the applications are due into the counseling office. A reminder too that Billy Yates' Hearts for the Arts Scholarship is completely separate from the talent competition that took place earlier this month. See the counselors to pick up an application or if you have any questions. Another reminder for seniors, senior song dedications, memories, and wills are due March 31st. Forms are available on the counter in the main office. To help raise money for their trip to nationals, members of Key Club are taking orders for Krispy Kreme donuts. A dozen plain glazed donuts are $8, and if you would like chocolate glazed donuts or cream-filled donuts, they will cost you $9. See any member or Mr. Pennington to place your order, which will be delivered on April 20th. You have just 1 week left to get your tickets for one of the 2 fire pits being raffled off by Skills USA students. The tickets are $1 each or 6 for $5. The drawing will be held on Monday, April 3rd. Finally, the high school cheerleader workshop for the squad next year will start on April 6th, and tryouts will be on April 12th. Interested students can pick up a packet in the main office. Brooklyn is standing by with this week's sports.
Thanks. The spring sports season kicked off this week. The baseball team took part in the Wooden Bat Tournament up in Emirates last Friday and played the team from Plato. The Dons lost that game by a score of 13-1. On Monday, the boys played their first regular season game here against Cooter and dropped that game by a score of 8-0. The softball team kicked off their spring season by traveling to Emirates on Monday. The Donettes lost a close game by a score of 9-8. Their game on Tuesday here at home was postponed because of rain. Tonight, the Donettes are scheduled to play at Dexter. On the schedule for next week, the Dons will play Malden here at home on Monday, then travel to South Pemscott on Tuesday and Portageville on Friday. The Donettes only have 1 game on Tuesday, and that will be at Neelyville. That's the sports for this week. Here's Joey with your weekend weather forecast.
Not the greatest forecast for prom coming up tomorrow. Showers and thunderstorms are in the forecast for Saturday, with the high of 64. Sunday will be the best day this weekend, mostly sunny and 70. And then more thunderstorms and rain on Monday with the high of 68. That's our newscast this week. Thanks for joining us and have a great weekend.